button, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough. All right, look. Shout out to everybody who was in the house last night for the Giants Outsiders. Y'all make sure y'all go on iTunes or Apple, whatever, Spotify. Make sure y'all downloading the podcast and leaving good ratings. It helps a lot, man. But thank you to everybody who turned out. It was a show. You're not going to get a show like that for no other Giants content. That is the best show in the community. Bottom line. And I thank y'all for making it hot. Now, with that being said, shout out to my boy Greg Jennings. See, here's the thing, right? I always love Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings been my boy for a decade now. For those of y'all who don't know, when I was in high school and college, I used to play Madden for money. And in Madden 13, Aaron Rodgers was Peyton Manning with wheels. Okay, Aaron Rodgers was a 99 overall quarterback with like an 85 speed in Madden 13. He was perfection. And he had my man, Big Play Jordy. He had Randall Cobb, James Jones, Jermichael Finley, and the one, the only Greg Jennings. Y'all know how much money Greg Jennings made me in Madden 13? I'm talking thousands of dollars. I was paying rent off them Greg Jennings catches. Well, we had the wheel routes in Madden 13, the little cut off, the little straight catches and shit. But the point is, and on my Facebook, I still have a Facebook. I got this Greg Jennings highlight where he juked like two people on a 5-yard out route, ran 80 yards. Shout out to Greg Jennings. I just had to get that out my chest. I love you to death, Greg. You can do no wrong in my eyes, man. But Greg Jennings came out on First Things First, the big dick-nosed fucking Nick Wright, okay, and on light-skinned Chris Broussard. He came out and said that Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback. And not only did he say that Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback, but he put him ahead of Dak. That's the most important thing you could take from his list. Is not only did he put Daniel Jones in his top 10, but he put him ahead of Dak. I've been saying this for 2 years now that he's better than Dak. You got to be blind to not see that Daniel Jones is better than Dak. Cowboy fans would kill to swap quarterbacks. If Cowboy fans could swap quarterbacks with the Giants right now, not one of them would say no. Daniel Jones is a championship quarterback with winning intangibles. He does not turn the ball over. He threw 5 picks last year. Who threw fewer picks than Daniel Jones last year? Who? I rest my case. And then he is Mr. Fourth Quarter. He is Mr. Fourth Quarter. The only reason why Kirk Cousins had more fourth quarter game-winning drives than Daniel Jones is because they won like 12 games by a miracle. This dude Kirk Cousins had a horseshoe with his ass last year. But the thing is, Daniel Jones, right? I did a video, was it last week or the week before? No, it was my birthday video. Yeah, my birthday video, remember? Figure it out. Remember that message on my birthday, figure it out. Daniel Jones transformed. He went Super Saiyan Blue without a number one receiver. Normally, these quarterbacks don't go to the next level until you get them the big-time weapon. You got to have the Tyreek and Kelsey. You got to come into the league with Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. You got to have your team trade for DeAndre Hopkins or Hollywood Brown when it comes to Arizona. Your team has to go and get you not CD Lamb. Who was that other dude? Amari Cooper. They had to replace Amari Cooper because Dak sucked when they cut Dez. Remember when Dallas cut Dez and Dak was trash and Jerry had to go overpay for Amari Cooper? That's normally the progression of a quarterback. They need an elite receiver to go to the next level. This motherfucker Daniel Jones just went out and won a playoff game on the road with practice squad receivers. I don't think y'all grasp the magnitude of how great this kid is and how special he was last season to go on the road and beat a 13-win team with practice squad players. I'm not saying that to be funny. When I keep talking about these practice squad wide receivers, I'm not trying to be funny. Isaiah Hodgins was on the Bills practice squad and got cut. Darius Slayton was buried on our depth chart. If it wasn't for injuries and Kadarius Toney being a little bitch, he wouldn't have saw the field. If Galladay and Toney and Shepard could stay on the field, Slayton would have never saw it. So I'm not trying to be funny when I say he's winning with practice squad receivers. They were literally practice squad receivers. So y'all got to understand, if Daniel Jones is not in your top 10, who is? You can't name, first of all, there's not 10 quarterbacks in the league who have road playoff wins. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, shout out to the Macho Man, but yeah. Y'all ain't think about that now, did you? So when you do these top 10 playoff lists, or not playoff lists, quarterback lists, how many of them dudes got road playoff games? How many of them can sit there and say they went on the road and won a playoff game? How long did it take Matt Ryan to win his first playoff game? How long did it take Peyton Manning to win his first playoff game? How long did it take our boy Eli to win his first playoff game? Eli got shut out in a playoff game. Eli Manning's first playoff game was a shutout versus the Panthers. I'm still mad at Steve Smith about that. We got shut out by Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith in, what was it, 05, I think? And then his next playoff game in 06, we lost to Jeff Garcia. Was it? Yeah, I don't think it was McNabb. I think we lost to Jeff Garcia in 06. I remember crying in my room. That was my junior year of high school. I definitely remember crying. That was Tiki Barber last game, that playoff game. We lost. I was crying like a little bitch. I cried a couple times, bro. I cried when we lost to the Eagles in 06, and I cried like a bitch when LeBron James murdered my Pistons in 07. Oh my gosh. I'm still mad at Chris Webber and Rasheed Wallace for letting LeBron just go in the hole like it was sweet. But anyway, I digress. The point is, it takes these quarterbacks a while to win their first playoff game. Daniel Jones came out the box, no assembly required, and won a playoff game with an inferior roster. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Turner, every weapon you could think of. Eli Manning, Plexico Burress, Amani Toomer, Steve Smith, Jeremy Shockey, Tiki Barber, Hall of Fame offensive line. Couldn't win a playoff game. But here go Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Andrew Thomas, and practice squad receivers. Make it make sense. But he can't get in anybody's top 10 outside of Chris Broussard. And whoever, is it James Jones? Who's the homie on ESPN who be bigging up Daniel Jones? No, Bart Scott. So outside of Bart Scott and our boy Greg Jennings, who is showing Daniel Jones the respect that he deserves? These are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Why? The next time somebody take a shot at Daniel Jones, ask him why. The next time somebody diss Daniel Jones, ask him who his starting receivers were. Because shout out my boy Ant. I might have to have my boy Anthony, my homie from the gym, come and do a show with me this year when we play the Eagles. He an Eagle fan, so I pulled up on him. He was working and whatnot, right? And I said, Ant, because he was talking about how the Giant, Danny threw 15 touchdowns. I said, Ant, I'll shut the fuck up if you can name his starting receivers. Name Daniel Jones starting receivers, and I shut up. Because they say, Daniel Jones only threw 15 touchdowns. Name his starting receivers. The next time somebody comes at you about Daniel Jones' touchdown numbers, tell them name his starting receivers. He couldn't do it. He named Darius Slayton and couldn't name another soul. Couldn't name another soul. Because I said Galladay don't count. Toney don't count. Shepard don't count. Because they really didn't play. I said name his starting receivers in that playoff game versus Minnesota. He couldn't do it. That's my point. That's my point. And that guy has a road playoff victory with a team that everybody said was going to win 4 games. He should be in everybody's top 10. If Dan ain't in your top 10, you just a hater at this point. It's the blind leading the blind. But anyway, I've talked long enough. That's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit. If you're rocking with me, my name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.